So he went back to ask his mom, hey, can I play? And then he got back full in excitement because he was gonna be able to play with us. And then he fell from a hill with flat face down. And we all looked at each other like, oh no, that guy's gonna cry, and we all have to go comfort him. He stood up with the biggest smile on his face and just started running again and started playing, and he was also the best player in his team.
Just to feel good at the end of the day.
There we are, again, 5th episode. Damn, time's going fast. Welcome to RBS Go. If you are for some reason tuning in now, RBS Go is Random Bullshit Go, meaning that we're talking about the biggest bullshit that anyone could ever think of. And this time we are talking about, James doesn't know it yet, sports.
Ooh, sports.
Now, yes, you at home might not know this, but this is the one big difference between James and I. Not just James being bald and I have long hair, that's not the biggest difference. The biggest difference is that you watch sports all the time, you go to rugby every once in a while. I do nothing with sports. Of course I work out, but I have no interest in them. So this is gonna be a back and forth arguing / enthusiasm episode. So, why do you like rugby so much?
Rugby for me was the school sport. So the guys in primary school had to play rugby during the winter, and then during the summer had to be cricket. That was the rules of the school. That was the school games. And then you continued that all the way up until you like your halfway through high school, and then you had options to branch out into different sports if you wanted. So I maintained with rugby all the way up until my second last year of high school, and then I wanted to try something else. So I tried playing squash, really enjoyed that. Nice way to completely obliterate yourself in such a short period of time. And then my final year, what did I do? I think I might have done 2 years at squash. Yeah, I did 2 years of squash, and then the rest of my time was all spent on rugby. So that's why I enjoy watching rugby and going to the games so much, because I understand it. I've played it. I did so many years of my life in it. Whereas football, I'll watch it if it's nothing else is on, but it's not something that wows me.
Okay, so would you say you enjoy playing rugby more than watching rugby, or not at all?
I love playing it, but I just I'm too small and skinny now to be playing it at an adult level. Because if you look at all the adult guys playing rugby, they're the size of a fridge.
Jacked.
Not even jacked. It's like most of them are like fat strong. And then the other ones are jacked. So it's like a horrible mixture. If you look at some of the statistics for the scrum, it's like the combined weight of them is nearly 1 ton.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, because I don't watch sports at all, but what I do find very enjoyable, if I'm with friends or whatever, I really like going on just a football field and play. Not even that competitively, just play altogether. And I, for some reason, really don't enjoy watching it. It doesn't have my attention. If I'm watching a movie or a show, which, our last episode, we've talked about a lot of movies, so obviously I've seen a lot. But with sports, I just can't get through it. I don't quite understand why, but I really don't find it interesting. So could that just be the sports that I tried watching? Or do you think I'm just not a sports person? Like, what you say?
Well, maybe you're not a sports person, but maybe you don't like watching them. Like, here's a question for you. Do you ever watch the Olympics when it's on? Summer or winter games?
Nothing. The only Olympics I care about are Mario and Sonic and the Olympic Winter Games.
So yeah, like when the Olympics come on, I always have it on the TV during the day. It doesn't matter if I'm doing... It's just how I grew up with. My parents loved it, and I think it's from their generation where the Olympics was maybe such a bigger thing. Like, and I always grew up when the Olympics was on. There was like always a TV in the house, pretty much on 24/7. Doesn't matter what you were doing. If you were just passing by, my mum doing the ironing, my dad cooking or cutting the grass, doing some other odd jobs around the house. If the Olympics was on, it was always like tennis or something else like that. And my parents, when I lived in Singapore, my parents went to a tennis club. So they were playing tennis every weekend, which in turn made me and my sister learn tennis at the same time. So I think we've been exposed to more of a sport world upbringing than, I don't know, I would say more than the average person, but I'd say we were definitely sporty as kids.
Yeah, because a lot of people are obsessed almost with sports, especially football players. Like, they are really active. Have you seen some of the vandalisms and the stuff that Dutch football players do? It's so insane, man.
It's just, I think that's just the dark side of sport. It's always bad cookies that ruin it for everything. So, like, football's always got this bad vibe side where you see people just do stupid stuff all the time. You have these people that just don't go to the games to watch the football, go to the games just to cause violence. And I don't see the point of them going, you know, taking a ticket away from an actual fan. I'm not saying they're an actual fan, but I'm saying they're taking it from someone that would like to be in the stadium to cheer on their team.
Yeah.
And like, what?
Well, they might like the team too much. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, but you know, like, why do these people who go out and cause actual violence, hatred towards people, get to go to the stadiums, take these tickets away from, let's say, better behaved fans?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really had a bother with that too when the World Championship in Qatar was going on. I was already not really a big fan of that because of everything that Qatar did. I don't really know if we should have gone. Obviously, we're not for the kind of stuff that they did there. You know, the violating human rights and the modern slavery. That's a whole other subject. But I already didn't like that entire World Championship. And then when I believe it was Morocco who won a certain match, and then Moroccans who live in the Netherlands just completely went insane. And instead of like celebrating it with a good beer, they went on and like put some cars on fire and stuff. And I was so confused. You're happy. Why are you demolishing stuff? What are you doing? Huh? What is the logic behind it? And then it just really enforces my well, I wouldn't say hatred. It's more just the disliking of sports. I guess those kind of fans really make it less fun for someone like me to maybe join a friend into go and watch a sport, because there might be people who do vandalism there too, and I don't know, that's not really my thing. So I do kind of understand it when you're losing, and I don't know if you do anything when a team that you really like loses, just like on the last bit, the last few minutes or something.
No.
Is there anything you do?
No, rugby is very, very different with football, whereas it's not dedicated seating. It's, you know, you can be sitting right beside someone who's supporting the other team, and it doesn't mean anything. And rugby's got this, it's just a much nicer, friendlier vibe to it. I know you're going to go watch 80 minutes of guys getting smashed up, chasing an egg around the field. But you can be sitting right beside the opposing supporter, and there's no bad blood between you. There's no hatred. There's no nothing. And last game I went to go watch was Scotland-Italy. And there was like 4 Italian guys, because the running joke with the Six Nations is that this is a rugby tournament that Italy always come last place. They just always come. Okay. They're the weakest team, and they know that they are. And the person that comes in the last place gets something called the wooden spoon, you know, like a cooking spoon. It's their trophy is the wooden spoon. So you saw all these Italian people coming, and all dressed up, pizza hats, whatnot, looking great, and they all had wooden spoons hanging out their pockets. They all fully knew what's going to happen, but everyone was loving them. No. And then when it came to the national anthem, Murrayfield is a good stadium, but you can guarantee it's like 98% full of Scots in there wanting to support Scotland. But the 2% of the Italians that made up the crowd, my God, did they sing their best. You know, there was like a couple rows behind, there was a bunch of Italian guys giving it all their best, and everyone just had to turn around and watch them. They were giving it so well.
That's honestly, that sounds kind of wholesome.
Yeah. There's no hatred between the fans, but I can't guarantee it. But however, there is, like I said, just that small percent that are just idiots, and these are people that just haven't grown up.
Yeah, that's with rugby, but with football, it's not that small of a percentage.
No.
It's a pretty big.
It's a large
big
percentage,
part.
and depending on who's playing and what league and what club, the history, the rivalry between them, you could, like, me and you could never have met, but we could just have opposing teams, and as soon as we introduce ourselves, we're like, we get along. And then I would ask you, do you support football? You say, yes, I support this team, and I say, I support that team. That could literally just be it for the friendship.
Yeah,
just because you
that's so strange.
just because you support one team, some people completely just get rid of that person.
But what is the motivation to support a specific team? Because if you live close to it, yeah, okay, sure, I get it. Or if your favorite player plays in it, but there are so many people here in the Netherlands who are obsessed with the club that plays for Amsterdam, for example, and they don't really have anything with it, and I don't understand why. Why would you?
I don't know. I guess a lot of the times your club, your first, let's say, football team will be probably directed by family members. Let's say
that's a good guess.
Your parents, your mum, your dad, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your granddad. Let's say if they all support one team, and then of course you're going to probably grow up supporting that team because it'll be something to bond over or something like that. But I don't know. People just grow up on teams, or if you have no gateway into the sport, just pick a team and follow it. There's nothing saying you have to follow them every season. Once you get a bit more into sport, maybe you just want to pick a certain team and follow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, for me, it's just very, very different. I don't really see the point in any kind of competition that much, honestly. Obviously, playing a game competitively every once in a while is fine, but also with all these esports going on, for example, which is also another subject, right?
Yeah.
Esports is a big upcoming thing. I tried to watch it. I really did, because you could get rewards for several games.
Like in
like
Twitch,
League of
if you were
Legends.
like LinkedIn or something, and the drops drop or something like
Yeah,
that.
and drops like that. Yeah, sure, I would be like, okay, I'll give it a try. But then after a few days of trying, I just noticed that I would just put it on the background anyway, and I'm not watching it. And at some point, I even forget putting it on. It's really not interesting to me, because I could be playing that game myself. I could be playing a more fun game myself. I could be doing anything else. It's like, people call gaming a waste of time, but at least you're still actively doing something. For at least that's how I look at it. And then when you're sitting on the TV watching every single match going on, even if you don't care about them, and I know there's people that do that, and that's fine. You can enjoy that, but you can't go on and then say, oh yeah, gaming is a waste of time. Oh yeah, watching movies is a waste of time. Because you're essentially doing the same thing, but just with watching sports, which you could have done yourself.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
When I was like in my teens and thinking this is kind of cool, and then you see all the videos where people like wasn't really GoPros then, because it was something else. So this quality is dead poor, but thinking these crazy French people running around doing flips off buildings and all sorts, and it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's not just the flips. For me, what really clicked was the parkour. So you have like the separate types of vaults, for example. You have a safe vault, which is the one you start off on, where you kind of catch yourself with a leg on the object that you're vaulting over. You have like a monkey vault. You have a Kong vault, where you start diving from very early on in the jump, which is one of the most scary ones. And then I pulled it off, and you would just start learning all these tricks and combine them and put them in a parkour. and it really was the perfect way to learn something, apply, learn something, apply. And I guess that's why I didn't enjoy football, because I also played football when I was younger, trying to fit in, you know. That's kind of like the entire Dutch culture at this point. But it really didn't work. I tried as like a keeper. I tried as the, you know, on the goal, and I tried defense, and it all just didn't work. But eventually, I did start to enjoy it a little bit, and not really because of the sport, but more because of my team. What happened? Just a year in, I got degraded from that team to another team because some guy didn't want to get degraded, and I was one of the two lowest players. And because of that other guy not wanting to get degraded and really crying about it with his mom, I got degraded. And I was like, ah, nah, fuck that. I'm quitting. And that's where it all ended for me. And that's when I kind of started hating on football. And I started picking up football a few times again, just with friends. And that I still enjoy. But I don't really like football as a sport itself anymore. I just like the being together. So really,
Yeah,
could
you
be
like the
playing
social
anything.
aspect, let's say, going down the
Yeah.
park with, let's say you're playing five-a-side, so you're down the park with 9 of your friends. Or let's say 4 of your friends and then maybe 6 people you weren't really, or 5 people you weren't really friendly with, but you get to start to know them.
Yeah, yeah, and then you win, you score a goal, and you're just like, haha, fuck you, and then they're like, haha, fuck you, and that's
Yeah.
just such a fun way of uh, getting to people to know. But oh, I don't know if you know this, but um, people, especially kids who live in poorer countries, have you ever seen them play football, like Brazil, Africa, or
Oh yeah, it's nuts. It's what they live for because they all want to be
what
the
the
next
fuck?
whatever Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, yeah, David Beckham, whatever. I know like 5 footballers. That's my knowledge, but they all want to be the latest and greatest footballer because Latin America puts out so many footballers. It's just some way that they can just get out of the poverty.
Yeah, there is one country that's not getting recognized though, because we're now obviously Brazil, you know, and Portugal and all those countries that are already known for football. But I went to Moldova a few years ago. I think I told you about it. It was charity work. I don't really want to talk about it too much. I'm not that kind of guy to go, oh, it was so good of me. I didn't really end up doing any much anyway, but we did play football with a few of the locals there, a few of the kids, and they are rough, man. They are so tough. There was this kid who wanted to join us mid game, and we were like, "Oh yeah, sure." So he went back to ask his mom, "Hey, can I play?" And then he got back full in excitement because he was gonna be able to play with us, and then he fell from a hill with flat face down. And we all looked at each other like, oh no, no, that guy's gonna cry, and we all have to go comfort him. He stood up with the biggest smile on his face and just started running again and started playing, and he was also the best player in his team. And I was so confused. If I get like, I don't know, my hand feels a little weird, then I start performing worse in anything. But this guy falls off flat on his face off of a hill, and he just stands up and is fine. These guys are so insane. But then that kind of makes you go think, like, those pro footballers, how did they become pro? Because it has to be through hardships, right? They can't
Yeah,
have become big because, oh, some rich guy gave them money.
no, no, no. It's strictly talent. You can't buy your way into that sport because you have to play at that level. Like Champions League or Premier League in the UK. Well, Premier League in the UK, Champions League is European. But everyone wants to be in the English Premier League. Everyone wants to go there. That's where everyone wants to go make money go be recognized, and then playing in the Champions League is you're the best of the best, you know. You're in the best teams, you're the best players. It doesn't matter if you're first pick, second pick, but if you've got that number on your back and you're playing for that team, you're instantly recognized. You're damn good at your sport you do.
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of the sad thing, because it's like a lot of other talent-based professions, right? Where if you don't get recognized, it doesn't matter how good you are. That's the sad thing, because as I said, I think while there might be one of the best football players in the world currently living in Moldova, right? For example. But we would never get to know, because especially Moldova is a place people don't even care about. People don't even know that country exists. Hell, people didn't even know Ukraine existed before Russia started attacking, what is it called, the Crimea?
Yeah, the Crimea.
The Crimea. Yeah, that's when people were like, oh, Ukraine exists. And then it was like, no, Russian oppression and stuff. But in Moldova, it's been going on for years. And whole other countries as well. So it's pretty insane how unknown some countries are to some people. But that's kind of another subject, though. I kind of want to talk about this one discussion point that I like. Do you think horse riding is a sport?
There's a lot of things that are a sport, and there's a lot of things that should not be a sport. It takes a high degree of skill in what they do. Like, I'm not going to fault it. Like, have you ever watched the dressage where they have the horses prance around and do all that fancy stuff? Like, don't get me wrong. That's a lot of hours of dedication. That's a lot of skill. Someone has honed that and someone has done well. But is it a sport? It is very debatable. I would happily see that actually drop from the Olympics for in terms of something else. Because you know that they're adding BMX to the Olympics.
Oh, that's rad. Oh,
I
that's
believe I've got
rad.
Google. Let me check. I'm pretty sure it's already in the Olympics. And I think that's a much bigger sport. The International Olympic Committee announced that BMX freestyle will be added as an Olympic event for men and women in Tokyo 2020. So next year will probably be the second time it's ever been
2020?
done. Yeah, it's already been. So next coming Olympics in 24, will probably have a much bigger BMX uptick because, you know, people missed out on their first chance. So this has given people 4 years to train, 4 years to develop, 4 years to do stuff. And I think that is already a huge sport. If you go to any country, there's a lot of stuff around the bicycle platform, whether it's BMX, whether it's mountain bike, whether it's dirt bike, motorbike racing. There's already a heavy industry in sports. Whereas you don't call horse racing a sport, is it? It's like an event.
I think the what makes it the sport that people call a sport is more the training of the horse. But a lot of riders don't even train their own horses. Some do. And I do think that's the sport. I think it's the training that makes it
I'm very naive in the horse world. I turn up to a horse event maybe once in a blue moon and throw some money in the wind and walk away down.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, completely fair. But what I do dislike is when people are like, oh, no, it's not a sport because it's not physical enough. And then they meanwhile say that darting is a sport, for example.
Well, darts, no. That's not a sport.
That's not a sport.
I love watching it, though. It's for me, funny. It's not enjoyable. But it doesn't matter if it's right or left-handed. Look at the guy. So let's say he throws with his right hand. If you look at his left hand, he'll have the biggest watch unknown to the world. He'll have all these gold chains. He'll have all these rings to show off how good he is, you know, his wealth. And then he just throws at the board. And then you look at his right hand and it's got nothing on it. You can't even have probably hairs to try and throw off his aim.
You know what's funny is when they over-celebrate. Like... It's such a stupid thing because it doesn't even make like a big sound or a big ding when they hit it. It's just... And then someone going...
Yeah. I think you hit the Discord sound volume there. I'm probably thankful for because I didn't see you go through them trees.
I see a little spike here in my audacity. So
Probably that was saving my earphones.
I moved back from my microphone, though. It shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, no, I think darts should not be considered a sport. If you're gonna call horse riding not physical enough for a sport, then darts is not a sport either. But then what makes a sport a sport? Is it the physicality? Is it the mental capacity? Because also chess is a mental sport. It's a brain sport, right? And you could say the same for esports. Esports is like, your hands have to be quick.
Yeah, I will
or
change my
brain
definition of
well.
a sport then. Anything that could generate a crowd to watch that requires skill.
Yeah, but let's say live voice actors doing live voice acting. That's not a sport, but
No.
it is still a talent, and people will still go and watch it because, oh, I love this game. I'm gonna go watch that live. And also same for most streamers that are okay at the game. People will watch them because they are good at the game, but it doesn't make it a sport just because they are playing the game. I think when it's an organized event of several skilled people at either a physical or a mental level, that's when it's a sport, and that makes the horse riding so tricky. Because yes, of course, horse riding is tricky and it's hard and you need a lot of skill, but anyone can learn it. Not everyone as good as the other, but I believe the skill ceiling is way less high than other sports, and that's kind of why people fall. That's kind of where the horse riding falls short. I think is where people just don't really feel like it can get any better. Like the horses get better, but the people at a certain level just don't get better anymore, and that's
Yeah.
And also, why do we have so many sports that's just throwing stuff? I know that it's strength based, but we can also just have the deadlifts and that's it. Like they're throwing that little
The hammer.
yeah, the hammer, the spear, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, that used to be a thing for when it was invented, the Olympics. The Greek invented that. How good are you at hunting? So how good is your spear throwing? Stuff like that, and it made sense back then. But now, I'm kind of like, is it still necessary? Should it still be in there?
Yeah, I'd probably guess that if people really wanted to, they could sit down and see what it is. But yeah, I think their sports will change over the next decades or 12, 14, 16 years. Like, it's slow to change.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
already
reckon
changing.
it will change.
Yeah, and maybe
The ones I
at
love,
some
the ones
point-
I love the most are the Winter Olympic sports because they're just batshit and crazy insane. Like watching some woman go down a hill that's effectively on a coffee tray doing like 90 miles an hour, and you're thinking, what the hell's wrong with this lady? One speed bump and she's dead.
Yeah. Those little sleighs that they have.
Yeah, the little whatever they're skeletons. Yeah, skeletons.
Yeah, skeletons. Yeah. Oh, or bobsleighing is also one of those things. It's so incredibly fast, and you don't really feel it being too fast because the camera's just following it like.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But then they show you like the GoPro, like the POV, and it's just. And you're just sitting there like, damn, I wouldn't survive that. Like, how is your ass after a ride like that? Must be exhausted, right?
I think your whole body's numb being that close to ice and that wind speed. You just want to go sit in a hot shower.
You want to sit in a hot bath. You want to just relax. at that
Jacuzzi or
point.
hot tub or something.
Yeah. Maybe not even sit down, actually. Your ass might hurt too much.
Yeah.
Just be lifted into a bath. It's just... yeah, okay. That's a really fucked up sport. And yeah, I like the Winter Olympics as well. It's really sad, though, because obviously global warming is affecting our climate heavily. At the point where if we want another winter sports, we'll have to create fake snow. And
Yeah,
fake
artificial snow.
Yeah, and it's
Well, it was like this
artificial snow is
winter now with the ski resorts like up in the Alps or that region in Europe. The Italian and French Alps had very, I wouldn't say record low. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I know a lot of the places were struggling because they didn't have sufficient snow for ski season.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of them, for example, Austria. Austria is a pretty popular winter sport vacation land, right? And if you go there and you ski, then a lot of the snow there is just artificial snow, and that's also really bad for the environment. So we want snow, so we create artificial snow, which will in turn give us less actual snow.
Yeah.
That's the situation that we're in right now, and that's pretty fucked up. So my hot take is to maybe stop sports for a year altogether, for no skiing, no anything. Maybe on those little grass thingies. I don't know where you can
The
ski as well.
artificial ski slopes.
Yeah, ski slopes, but not don't do the artificial snow. Maybe skip the
No, we
winter,
have
winter
we call
Olympics.
them dry ski slopes in the UK. We have a few of them.
Ah, right.
There's one maybe an hour away from you. It's like I think the largest in the UK or one of the largest in Scotland, and that's where I
Yeah.
went to ski, and it was really good.
Yeah, yeah. Why not do that? Why do we have to have the snow? Because if we keep doing that, then there will be no snow to enjoy. So we can keep on creating snow, but it's just gonna backfire at some point. But yeah, talking about that, the amount of money going into big sport events is ridiculous, man. Damn. Especially with Qatar, all the corruption as well, if you would count that in as well. But just the
It's
amount
billions.
of money. Oh, so much. And what I really, really find funny, but I shouldn't laugh at it, is the president of FIFA. I don't remember his name. The guy who went
Blacker.
down. Yeah, the guy who went down and said, "Today I feel a little Arabic. Today I feel a little bit racist," or something like that. It's a very weird speech that he had there. But he is so corrupt. And then I read somewhere online the other day that he got re-elected as president. Like, what? So it just goes under their nose, which is honestly kind of sad that it happens. And the most frightening thing about it is that countries themselves don't do anything about it. Like, they don't say, okay, hey, if you don't stop the corruption, FIFA, we're going out. They all just keep going with it. Even a country like Sweden or Finland, just the Scandinavian countries who are most of the time all for good morals and not sticking with a company when it has bad morals. But now they don't even they don't say anything, and it's kind of sad. But yeah, that's another reason why I don't like sports, I guess.
It's just money speaks louder, doesn't it? Unfortunately.
It does. I mean, I would love to earn money with working out, for example. So I understand that people want to be able to make money with the sport that they love. If that's either betting on a match or playing the match as a professional football player. But I feel like the passion is kind of gone if it really is about the money. So for me, that doesn't really work, I guess. And then another sport. What do you think of F1?
I would like to get into it, as I have a few good friends that really are into motorsports. Like, they love watching it. One of my good friends is what you would describe as a petrol head. He tinkers every day with his car. He has the bonnet open. He likes pulling things apart, putting them back together. You never see this man in clean. You know, he's happiest when he's in engine grease or oil or something like that. So he really likes tinkering with cars and whatnot. And then I've got family friends that are very into motorsports. So probably been influenced to some degree. And I know that they watch it a lot. My dad watches it. So probably it's just waiting for me to something else to watch.
Okay.
I would say with the motorsports F1, I would like to see them plan it in the most efficient way possible. I know it has to go to all these countries to go to the F1, but have you ever seen the actual routes that they take?
No,
They could
I've
be
not.
for one thing, they could be in Singapore one day, then they could go across to Brazil, then they could come back to South Africa, then they could go to America, then they could go to Australia, then they go to London, then they go to Europe. There's no logical route. So like if you looked at all the places on the world and you tried to do it like a clock face, that you just go around in one big circle.
Yeah, yeah. They do.
Yeah,
the
they don't do
opposite,
that.
basically.
They do that. They make Twister, zigzag.
They
Join
make
the
like
dots.
like one of those stars, like
They make anything that just filters to them. So there's so many ways it could just be done. Like if they really wanted to take, let's say, the greenest approach to already a dirty sport because of the fumes and whatnot, whatever.
yeah.
Carbon offset, flying and hauling these things around. If they did it the best way, then it would have the least amount of impact on already quite an impactful sport, I believe.
It is a pretty impactful sport, and also you have to imagine that 9 out of 10 people that are going to watch the sport, like on this circuit itself, are probably coming by car.
Oh, they were coming
So-
from car, but the guy who I worked with for a short period of time, he was one of our pilots for the ship. So he's the one that take us into these specialized areas. He'll be there on the bridge. Really nice guy, Australian guy. Got
Love
on
that.
well with him like a track on fire. And him and his wife love the F1 and they've never been. And he's due to retire. So his kids, for his birthday, well, no, it was him and his wife's anniversary, bought
Aw.
them the the weekend one where you go sit in the grid, you stay in the local hotel, you go circuit side, see all the drivers' cars and whatnot. So they're off to do that, and I thought that'd be a nice experience. But at least they're in their own country. But then everyone forgets at the stupid size that Australia is. Nothing is round the corner.
Oh well, you're talking about Australia. America's the same thing. I
Yeah.
could not imagine living in the USA.
Well, that's
you
why
live
some-
in the USA. Woo,
That's
sorry,
why some
but-
people don't even have passports. They just stay with their driver's license, which is fine because if you think about America, it's a great place to live in theory. You have 4 seasons. You can have winter, you can have summer, you can have spring, and you can have autumn. You can have all those. And depending on what stage of the cycle or what season you're in, you could go, I want to go skiing, it's winter. Okay, why don't we go up somewhere north, on the border with Canada? Or if you want to go somewhere hot and sunny, go down to Florida, California, even Texas, see southern states. Or you want something with a little bit of spring and autumn vibes. Why not go somewhere in the middle? Denver, Colorado, places around this area. Go off the Great Lakes, You don't need to be near the sea if you want to go on a boat. They have so much stuff to do in their own country.
Yeah, US is a great big country. It's so big. And it
It's
could
just
have been
spoiled by,
better by the politics, yeah.
Yeah.
It's real
But that's
screwed.
us saying from our side, so it's always fun throwing
Well-
stones at their country. But
We
you
don't
know,
have
if
it
you
too
want-
great either.
I was going to say, if we have a look at our own countries, we're not exactly like amazing, are we?
Well, we do not have a president with dementia. That is nice. And we do not have one president with full power. Well, technically, they don't either, but they could, technically.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very
another
complicated.
sidebar. You see, like Trump's getting in, could face like 107 years in prison.
Wait, what? What
Have
did I
you
miss?
have you not been watching the news?
I don't watch the news if my favorite Dutch news program isn't live, and it's not live currently.
Oh, okay. So right now, Trump is getting indicted with potentially 34 counts of like falsifying stuff for businesses. So that could put him for a total time potentially away for 107 years.
Yeah, that
prison.
seems like something he would do. Something money related.
Yeah,
tax
so
evasion.
I haven't looked fully into it, but I've been following it, so we'll see what happens, because there's a lot of implications for that. Because if they put an ex-president away in prison for crimes, doesn't matter how big or small it is, it opens the door for what did the previous presidents do.
Yeah, it starts
And then
having
it's
people
just going to
doubt.
be
Yeah,
this snowball effect. So, yes, he may have done something wrong, but how it is going to be dealt with can open up a bigger can of worms for more potential damage. Because they could someone could literally go back into the Obama, the Bush era, Clinton era. How far back do you go to try and get a crime done?
yeah. And honestly, most American presidents have done something that
Well,
just didn't fit, right?
it's just
And,
anything
yeah.
from Bush to current era, with American troops being out in foreign countries conducting wars, like in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah,
Is
the way that
anyone
happened.
is anyone going
Oh.
to say back to Obama or Bush, going to take you to the European human rights, for war?
Yeah,
Could they get done? Because they were the figurehead. So, it's a very big slippery slope, which I'm interested to watch to see how it will turn out. I think he'll be... I don't know if found guilty would be the right term, but I think something will happen, but not happen at the same time.
What my theory is, and that's why I also think that Trump is not going to go to the jail. I really do believe that with enough money, you can buy anything. And let's be fair, he's just going to buy his way out of this sticky situation.
I want to see how big his
Again.
war chest is, He's getting probably ready to run for re-election again.
Yeah,
With
that's
all
what
this
he wants.
rally,
But
yeah, all this rally. Hey, it's doing him well in the political polls. All this press, and he's using it for himself. Like these people want to silence me. They don't want America great again. All these liberals, look at them, and he's actually getting some points on the polls.
yeah, the sadder thing is that Trump is a very weird guy, and the fact that he can run for president is insane. And then you look at Biden, and you think the exact same thing, but for completely other reasons. That guy is on another
All right, what
planet.
is it? They have like 300 million people population.
Yes, something like
Why
that.
are the two candidates at the end of the fucking day in their 70s?
Yeah, I don't understand either.
Like, I swear to God, I think the next elective for every single country in the world should be in their 30s to 40s.
Yeah,
Just
that's
bring it down
reasonable.
because they're in touch with the current generation. They know the struggles, they know the hardships. You're looking at someone that's already a multi-millionaire that's now going to be the most powerful person in their country, and they're just not in touch. Like, right now, the UK Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, he's married to his wife, and his wife's father is one of the richest people in India. It's like, how these people have not in touch with anything, and he's meant to be our chancellor and whatnot. He's actually done okay in my eyes. I don't hate him, but I think someone that has so much wealth and power shouldn't be put into a position of power.
Yeah, and that also comes back to FIFA. Like, why does a guy so corrupt stay there?
Who's the Scandinavian? You might know, Prime Minister lady that was like pictured dancing away in the early hours of a nightclub, and she's like, yeah, so what? I'm young. Is there anything wrong with this?
Oh, actually, our princess, because if you don't know, we have a royal family as well. And one of our princesses was found doing TikTok dances and drinking in the UK, actually. And there was such a big drama about it. And I'm like, bro, she's 16! That's what 16-year-olds do!
This is the thing, just let them be kids, let them be minors, let them be whatever.
Yeah, let them do their thing. Of course, if they go too far, start an OnlyFans or something like that. That's a bit too far. But her partying with her friends, sexual joke slips out. Who the fuck cares, Yeah. But yeah, that's people are put in very weird positions, and Also, this is out of nowhere, but we're talking about big figures, right? If you're talking about big figures and sports, Cristiano Ronaldo is one of those people. There is this Cristiano Ronaldo lookalike in America, and he's so alike. Have you seen him?
No.
Oh man. Okay, so basically, there's the streamer Speed, ISO Speed. I don't know if you know ISO Speed.
No, I'll Google him now. I'll have a look.
Yeah, ISO Speed has a very big obsession with Ronaldo. Like it's his dream to meet Ronaldo, and then he had one stream where he was sponsored by like a crypto company or something that eventually turned out to be a scam. And in that sponsor, their sponsors also rearranged that Cristiano Ronaldo lookalike to come on stream as well. But people actually thought it was Ronaldo. It's such a weird little thing. There was so much clickbait around it, and then the scam happened, and so many people were mad. But imagine if Ronaldo was actually part of it, though. That would be so fucking weird. Here, I'll send you a screenshot of what he looks like. He looks obviously way less ripped, though. Like, Cristiano Ronaldo has a very good posture, but...
Yeah.
Can you imagine that if it was actually him and then just part of a big scam? What would happen in that scenario? Actually, would he just be fired from his teams?
I don't know. I don't know. There's like so many things that they sign when they go up to play in these sports at this level. Like it's no longer you're just a person, you now represent the club or the sport or the team, whatever you do. So if you fuck up, it fucks up on everyone else.
Yeah, their managers should be very strict then, and they probably are. Let's be honest. I don't see a lot of Ronaldo. I see some clips here and there, but they're all sponsored in some way. Like you had this suitcase, or what was it? Ronaldo and Messi had a sponsor together. Like they were on an ad together.
There you go. This is what it is. This is from Chelsea's football club, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is their list of internal player fines.
Uh-oh.
So if you're late for a match day or first team departure, you're fined £2,500. Late for report time of training, £2,500 plus £2,500 for every 15 minutes after that. Late for a gym for pre-activation, £1,000. Late for treatment, £2,500. Late for team meetings. Have a guess, it's per minute.
Okay, per minute. Per minute. Okay. That.
Per minute.
Okay, I'm gonna just keep it high. 3K per minute.
No, £500 per minute.
Okay.
Late for start of training. Late for start of training. What do you think that is?
Also 2,500.
20,000 pounds.
Well, sorry, did I misheard? You mean 2,000, like 2,000? You mean, right?
No, £20,000 if you're late for the start of training. If your phone is ringing during a team meal or meeting, is £1,000.
Meal.
Yep.
Meal. Who the fuck
Reporting in the wrong attire / kit for team travel and match days, £1,000. Not travelling back on team coach post-match without giving 48 hours notice to the manager or assistant manager, £5,000. Refusal for not turning up to corporate community duties, £5,000. Not reporting illness, injury before day of travel or 1 hour 30 minutes before training, £10,000. Late for a medical, £2,500. All fines will be paid 14 days, after which fines outstandings will be doubled.
Bro, these fines are worse than some of the fines that you get for doing stupid shit in the Netherlands, like, you know, driving with your phone in the hand. That's actually a fine. You actually have to, like, pay almost 400 euros, which I guess is like 400 or 390 something,
300 something, yeah.
pounds. Yeah, like that's insane. I thought that was insane, but man.
Yeah, but when these guys are played, like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands per week just to play, they need to have a fine that's like proportionate to their salary. So I don't know which country it is. There's a country that does speed fines. So you get caught speeding in a car.
Yeah.
It's percentage based on your salary.
Well, that's actually not fair. Not that weird. That's pretty fair, actually.
Yeah, so if you get caught speeding and you're on like a relatively low salary, it's still going to hurt you because it's percentage based. But if you're in the upper echelons and you're making
millions.
Yeah, imagine getting caught. That is going to hurt you.
Damn. But they probably do have the money if you look at the sponsors and stuff. And now I understand why they do it as well. So they can skip a few trainings, I guess.
Yeah.
But there was this ad that from Louis Vuitton. They had like a briefcase that had a chess board on it, basically. And then they had Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, they saw Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo playing chess, and it really upsets me because it doesn't. Okay, I don't want to be that guy, but look at the chess pieces that are off the suitcase that are like put away. They look so fake.
Yeah.
This sponsor, this ad, probably costed fucking millions.
Oh, of course.
And then you fuck up the Photoshop. How does that happen? Why does that happen? It's so dumb. And that's the thing. Like because these guys are so expensive, they don't have any money for anything else. And at that point, is it worth it? It's so much money for a guy kicking balls. I can kick balls.
Yeah, but it's the amount of money that this is like the same thing with the whole pay divide between male and female football. So the females, or there's some people out there saying, why are they paid so much? And why are women paid so little? And someone just said, well, if you want to be paid equal rights, as in the amount of income and everything that you attract to this sport, bearing in mind this was a few years ago, so it would have changed. So if you want to be paid the same salary that the guys are paid for the amount of sponsorship, TV deals, everything that they bring in, the women would actually have to pay the club.
Huh?
Because they don't make money.
Why?
Because there's no one. What makes a football team money? People buying the season tickets, the tickets to the game, and every man and their dog going out to buy a football kit.
Yeah.
So you see everyone, all boys and majority of girls that are interested in football, where they all start off with a Cristiano Ronaldo shirt, a Messi shirt, a David Beckham shirt, Wayne Rooney, whatever.
Yeah.
Can you name me one famous female football player?
My brother in Christ, I don't even watch football.
Yeah, but I'm saying that. But you don't even watch football, but yet you know Messi, you know Ronaldo. You may even know Mo Salah, David Beckham.
Mario Bartelli.
Yeah. You don't watch the sport, you don't follow it, but you know the names.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up that it's so pushed in your face, and then the women don't at all.
This is coming leaps and bounds, and I have to I watched the last Ladies World Cup or whatever it was, last championship. And 10 years, 15 years ago, I wasn't impressed with the level of football for someone that has no football knowledge. And I watched this, and they are up there with the boys. Like, if you made the guys play the girls, I think the guys would easily win, unfortunately. That's my opinion. That could be proven very wrong.
That's because of physical differences.
I'm just not saying physical strength. I'm just saying these guys have been trained. It's their jobs to be footballers. The ladies aren't primary footballers. It's their secondary job.
Yeah.
So since they don't have income or enough to commit to it fully, You know, like the captain, the goalie, whatnot could be working in a bank. The other person could be a school teacher. You know, it's just something that they've got very good at. So until they can do it full time, I don't think they'll be there yet. But the amount of leaps and bounds it is, and it's not full of the same bullshit, you know. If you see a girl get tackled and you're like, holy fuck, that was a bad tackle, she just gets up and walks away. Where if you see like a fly land on the back of the head of one of these male footballers, they're on the ground crying.
Red card,
you know,
please.
I've been shot from a sniper 200 miles away.
It's so insane. Like, they overreact to everything. Sometimes they will make themselves fall out of nothing. They don't even get hit.
Yeah, they're
And
trying to
then they'll
force
cry.
a foul, free kick or whatnot. But I've actually found more enjoyment watching the female football than the male, and I
Fair.
hope it goes up in the same trend that is going up.
Yeah. Honestly, we could maybe make male football a little smaller so female football could grow as well. But then it will be all these sexists screaming, "No, we can't give women anything!" And it's insane how many of those there are still out there. Like, I don't understand how you are still like. Do you live in the 80s, in the 70s? What's going on?
It doesn't matter who you are or what you do and what you say. Everyone is always uncomfortable with change, but everyone just needs to be an adult and just get on with it. Like, what's it going to change? Like, coin the phrase, what's it going to change? It could change everything or it could change nothing. You just need to see.
Yeah. And that's the same reason why, for example, in the Netherlands, we have had the same president for 10 years. That's not even a thing that can happen in most countries. So, also, it's more than 10 years by now. It's insane. But, yeah, it's really screwed up, the way that it's working. And people just not accepting that things maybe should be different. And I guess that's why I don't like sports, because of some of the people in it, which is a fair reason, I think. That doesn't mean that I don't respect anyone that likes sports. For the people at home, if you love sports, tell us why. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the Q&A options. Shit, I didn't even check if we have anything in the inbox. Maybe. Wait, let me do that. Let me go to Anchor, see if we have anything in the inbox. Who knows? We might. And interact. No, not yet. But I'll make sure that I'll add the Q&As to every episode, so all of you guys at home can ask us questions. What do you not want them to ask you about, James?
They can ask me anything, just nothing too personal where they can figure out where I live and DDoS me. You know, I don't want to wake up at 3 a.m, have Pizza Hut delivering 20 pizzas. And expect
Why not?
To
That's epic.
and not be paid for. If they're paid for, by all means. If they're unpaid for, then I'm not taking that.
Okay. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening. This very strange episode, once again. This is one of the subjects that I didn't really know how to talk about, but I tried my best, and I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you the next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Just to feel good